Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Family Life with Hope, where we build strong families through faith, love, and real talk. If you are new here, I'm Hope, and I'm so glad you are joining us today. We'll be discussing a topic that is absolutely essential for every married couple, no matter how long you've been together. Setting healthy boundaries in marriage. Love without boundaries sounds romantic, but in reality, it can lead to resentment, confusion, even emotional burnout. Boundaries in marriage are not walls that keep your spouse out. They are guidelines that help both partners feel safe, respected, and emotionally connected. Think of boundaries as the rules of engagement that protect your individual identities while strengthening your unity as a couple. Why are boundaries important in marriage? Let's look at them. Number one, it protects emotional health and trust. Boundaries prevent burnout and encourage trust. It prevents lack of emotional availability, that is, not being emotionally present or dismissing each other's feelings, which can create distance and resentment. Two, it preserves individuality, that is, each partner brings unique needs, personalities, and preferences. Three, it reduced conflict. Boundaries, clear boundaries help prevent misunderstandings and reduce the likelihood of conflict. Four, stronger connection. When both partners feel respected and understood, it strengthens the emotional bond between them. Five, personal growth. Healthy boundaries allow both partners to grow individually while supporting each other. However, there are common areas where boundaries are needed. There are areas that boundaries are needed. One is emotional boundaries. This involves respecting each other's feelings and emotional needs without judgment. It's important to communicate openly what makes you feel loved, supported, and secure. Knowing when to offer advice and when to just listen. Two, time and space boundaries. These are the areas that boundaries are needed. Balancing time together and apart is crucial. Ensure you both have time for personal interests, for friends, and self care, as well as quality time together, and avoid over dependence. Financial boundaries. Issues about finance or financial decisions need to be addressed properly. Like, it's important to understand differences in spending and saving habits, which can lead to conflict over financial decisions. It's important to know who among the partners is a spender and who or which of them is a saver, so that you'll be able to set the boundaries accordingly. Then it can be around issues around financial independence and control, such as one partner feeling restricted or the other feeling worried. But when this is being addressed properly, then there will be no conflict, there will be no issues regarding the finance. So there has to be agreement on budgeting and things to purchase. Avoid secret spending. It is important to decide what is it that you can spend together or buy together, to set certain limits. This on financial boundaries. Then sexual boundaries. It's important to respect each other's comfort levels, desires, and limits, ensuring mutual consent and open dialogue. It can be, let's talk about what makes us both feel loved and safe. You discuss it and set your boundaries. But remember, it should not be used as a weapon. Sex in marriage should not be used as a weapon. So appropriate boundaries need to be set so that both parties will be able to enjoy. Family and in-laws boundaries. Deciding together how much influence extended families should have in your marriage. When these boundaries are not set, then there will be problem. Handle parenting decisions together and set boundaries regarding in-laws so that there will be no imposing opinion on your marriage. Draw lines to know at what extent the in-laws will interfere in your marriage. They can give you advice, yes, but you have to know to what extent are you allowing the in-laws or external factors to influence in your marriage. Digital and privacy boundaries. It's also important to set rules around your phones. You know, in these days of phones, digital devices, it's important to set rules on the use of phones and social media. At what point do you keep your phones off? Agree on what feels comfortable for both of you. Respect privacy without secrecy. It can be some time for dinner. You see some couples, this one is pressing phone, the other person is pressing phone, or at the time you're having important discussion, then social media, flipping from one social media to the other, then the other person is pressing on phone or making calls. There should be boundaries. Time to have your quality time together. Phone should not interfere. So there should be boundaries drawn along these lines. Now, having known these areas that boundaries are needed to be in place, how then do you set boundary? How to set elder boundaries? One, self-awareness. There has to be self-awareness. You need to understand your needs, your values, and limits. You need to be clear about your expectations of yourself and others, and what you are comfortable with and what you are not comfortable with for a particular time or a specific situation. Two, communicate clearly. That's how to set boundary. Self-awareness, communicate clearly, express your feelings openly and respectfully. Don't blame your partner. Start by having an honest conversation about your needs and your expectations. See, every human being has expectation, and when these expectations are not clearly communicated to your partner, it becomes a problem. But when you communicate freely in honesty, then you will be understood and there will be peace and appropriate boundary will be set. Three, be consistent. Stick to agreed boundaries. Don't bend them out of guilt or fear of conflict. When the boundaries have been set, commit to keeping to it. Don't flout it. It's important. Four, respect your partner's boundaries. Boundaries are a two-way street. Respect your partner's boundaries just as you expect them to respect yours. Listen when they are express a need or concern. It's also good to compromise where needed without dismissing their feelings. You don't just wave off to say, no, I don't want it, or just shun your partner off. No. Sometimes you shift ground to be able to accommodate your partner. Five, as things begin to evolve, it's important to revisit and adjust as needed. Boundaries are not set in stone. We need to remember that. As your relationship evolves, so also boundaries should evolve. Life changes, kids begin to come in, job, seasons of stress, so many things begin to happen in your marriage. Some things that were not there begin to come in. So as things are changing, as lives are changing, you also need to revisit your boundaries and make some adjustments. So regularly check in with each other to see if any adjustments are needed. When you have set these boundaries, don't forget that these boundaries can be violated. What should you do when boundaries are violated? Address them quickly and respectfully. Don't just allow them to slide. Address them and in a respectful manner. Call the person's attention and itemize, point it out to the person to be able to understand. Don't just generalize. Reinforce expectation and then use it as a growth moment. Yes, when these boundaries are violated, it could be a growth moment. Try to find out why did this happen and how can this be of great benefit to us. Then work on yourself and let it be as a growth moment in your union. Then seek counseling. If such continues, it is advisable to always seek for counseling when you see that you're not able to handle certain issues in your marriage. Above all, seek God. Make God your friend. Even when you have set the boundaries as human as we are, it's important to also involve God in all that you do. Setting boundaries shields your marriage from external attack and invaders. By establishing clear boundaries, you protect your relationship from outside influences and ensure that both partners feel secure and respected. This helps to maintain the integrity and strength of your marriage, allowing this to drive in a healthy and supportive environment. So, setting boundaries helps to strengthen your marriage, it helps to protect it from external invaders. Healthy boundaries in marriage is a continuous process that requires effort and understanding from both partners. Remember, boundaries are not about creating distance, but about encouraging a deeper connection built on mutual respect and love. Boundaries helps to protect your marriage and give you sanity in your home. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Family Life with Hope. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on any question you have about setting boundaries in your marriage. Until next time, take care and keep nurturing your relationship with love and respect. Thank you.